What's going on, Dallas Cowboys fans? It's your boy, JP Football Fanatics here, back with you once again with another record prediction video where we will now be analyzing for the NFC side of the NFL. And we're starting with the NFC East. For this particular team that we'll be starting with is the Dallas Cowboys, or some people would say, Dem Boys. So, the Dallas Cowboys are a team that has been really wanting to make it to that next level. They're that team that every single year they want to go out there and they want to win a Super Bowl. And even with their owner in Jerry Jones always says every year, this is their year. This is their year. This finally is the time. So they cut Zeke Elliott out of the lineup now. But they also gained a couple of nice players. Brandon Cooks for one on the wide receiver side of things. And they also got Stephon Gilmore. So Stephon Gilmore would be on the other side of helping out Trayvon Diggs. So how is this really going to pay off this year? Like, are the Cowboys, are they finally going to make it to the playoff? Well, they're going to make the playoffs. But are they finally going to make it to an NFC championship game for the first time since the 1996 season? Or are they going to be a bust and disappoint yet again? Let's figure it out right now. It's your boy JP Football Fanatics here, bringing you the best content that I can give to you as far as giving you the record prediction for the Dallas Cowboys. If you have not done so already, please be sure to drop a like on this video if you have not done so already. Also, if you can too, please be sure to also hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell as well, because anytime that there are new NFL content that is provided to you during this time frame, you will be the first ones to really get that idea of what I have to offer, and knowing that I'm probably one of the best to be able to do it. So please do me all the favor, like, comment, subscribe. Let's go. Let's get into the Dallas Cowboys season. So here we go. The Dallas Cowboys right here. This is their schedule for the season, for the 2023-24 season. I have a couple questions about the Cowboys, and I think it's mostly around coaching staff. Is Mike McCarthy going to be that guy? Is he going to finally take this team over that hump where he struggled in recent years? Or are they going to just stay about where they are from last year? Let's figure it out. First, we'll start off in week 1. Week 1, you got to play the New York Giants on a Sunday night football game. This is like the opening night for Sunday night football on Sunday night. The Giants are going to be a tough matchup. They usually are, okay? You got to play this game in New Jersey. You got to go to New Jersey and you got to play this game. I think this game is, a competitive game. I think it can go either way. I'm not saying, the Cowboys are going to go in there and absolutely positively dice up this secondary for the Giants defense. I think the Giants are a talented team. I think they'll get some things ready. I think they'll be able to get themselves ready and to go and whatnot there as a Giants fan, at least for my own sake. But I still think as far as defensively goes, I think the Cowboys are much more technically sound. I think now adding that addition to Stephon Gilmore is going to give some problems to Daniel Jones. We might see Daniel Jones make some plays like he did last year against the Cowboys. I thought the Giants played really well against them last year. I think that trend can still kind of continue there. But I think the Cowboys secondary is going to be too much for them to handle. So I think the Cowboys defense is what really is going to win them this game. I'm going to go with the Cowboys to win this game in week 1. And then as far as when they do play the Giants again later on, I think that game could go really either way as well in week 10. But I think you guys are going to split with the Giants this year. I feel like the Giants are a good team. They're a very well coached team, so I think you guys are going to split with the Giants this year. I think you'll lose to them in week 1, and then I think you're going to lose to them in week 10. Week 2, you play the New York Jets, Aaron Rodgers' New York Jets. That is, you don't have to go up to New Jersey to play this team. You get to go home and you get to play against the Jets. So I can't remember the last time the Cowboys beat the Jets, but I know back in 2019, that season, the Cowboys somehow lost that game to the Jets. I don't really quite remember all the details, but I know they lost that game against Sam Darnold. I don't think that's going to happen for the second time in a row. I think the Cowboys should be able to come in. They should be able to win at home against the Jets. Typically because Aaron Rodgers, he may own the Jets. Sure, you can kind of go with that. But Aaron Rodgers is still going to be trying to really figure out his team, really, especially with this offense, and see where he really is with this offense and this team. So they'll take some time. I think it's early in the season, so I think the Cowboys will win week 2. Week 3 that you play the Cardinals, you should be able to win that game. The Cardinals are not a very good team at all by any means. So I think you should be able to win that one on the road. Week 4, you play the New England Patriots. I think this game is very, very interesting. I think it's going to be a defensive kind of game. But this game is at home. Tom Brady is no longer at the helm. Therefore, I think you could start the season out being 4-0. I really do. I think you have I think you have what it takes to go in there and beat New England. New England has some pieces that are going to be, at least competitive with you guys and be able to play well. But at the same time, though, I feel like the Cowboys are they're much more subtle. They're more in depth. They're more well-rounded and more talented offensively and defensively too. I feel like defensively it's going to be evenly matched. I think it will be a nice defensive battle. But as far as offense goes, the Cowboys, I would trust the Cowboys right now versus what I would trust in the offense to be able to get this game done here with the Patriots. Week 5, you play the San Francisco 49ers in San Francisco. I think you're going to win this game as well. I think, as far as the 49ers go, a lot of questions are going to be revolving around quarterback play. Is it Sam Darnold? Is it Trey Lance? Is Brock Purdy ready to go? That's my biggest question mark really here. But I think the Cowboys finally get over that hump and be able to beat the 49ers in the regular season in San Francisco on Sunday Night Football. Week 6, you play the Chargers on Monday night. I believe this game is going to be an either way kind of game. I believe I did pick the Cowboys to win this game previously. I can't quite recall. So I'm going to go back to this game at some point later on in this video and see where I do find them in that. So I think this game, I think I did pick the Cowboys to win. I think the Cowboys secondary is going to be so much. I think there's going to be a lot of really good matchups as far as Mike Williams and Trayvon Diggs or Stephon Gilmore in this case. So I think this game is going to be like an either way kind of game. So I believe I picked the Cowboys. I think I'm going to stick with the Cowboys there. I think the Cowboys overall are a better team, but the Chargers offense is going to keep themselves in this game as normally the Chargers usually do. Then you go into the bye week in week 7, and then you play the Rams after that, after the bye week. I think you should be able to beat the Rams. Again, the Rams are a team that are, in full rebuild mode at the moment. Matthew Stafford's still trying to work through some things and whatnot. So that's going to make some things really difficult there. So I think you should be able to beat the Rams. Week 9, you play the Philadelphia Eagles. You're going to lose to the Eagles in week 9 on the road, and then you should be able to beat them at home in week 14. The Eagles are still a very good team. They're definitely going to be competing for another Super Bowl run here, of course. We'll see how they do as far as how they do after the leaving of Shane Steichen. So that will play a big factor there. But you should be able to. I think you're going to be able to split with the Eagles. I think you're well-rounded enough to be able to do that. We talked about week 10. You lose to the Giants week 10. Week 11, you play the Carolina Panthers. I could see this game going really either way, to be honest with you. I think the Panthers are a team. I think they're a team that are, they can upset you in so many different ways. I think Frank Reich can really put together a good game plan to beat you guys. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Cowboys are better overall, personally. I know it's going to be in Carolina. The weather's going to be a little bit tricky here. But I think you guys are still better than the Panthers. Therefore, I will take you to win that game in week 11. Week 12, you play the Commanders. I think you're going to split with the Commanders this year. I really do. You should be able to beat them at home because you normally do play them very well and absolutely demolish them at home on Thursday. I believe it's a Thursday night football game, if I'm not mistaken. If actually, this is a Thanksgiving game, I believe. I'll double check that real quick. But you should be able to beat them in week 12. and then I say the Commanders will come back and they will split with you as well. I believe the Cowboys are going to split with every team in the NFC East this year. Week 13, you play the Seahawks. This could be a game. This is a Thursday night game. This could be a game that's like a big upset. I could definitely see the Seahawks and what the phenomenal um, wide receivers that they have all around them. Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, um, Jackson Smith, who they also got as well too. I don't remember his entire name from Ohio State, who's going to be starting this year too. They have a lot of weapons at Seahawks, so I could definitely see this game becoming an upset here. So I'm going to say that the Seahawks might be able to upset you guys at home on Thursday night. Week 15, you go up to play Buffalo, to play the Bills. The Bills are a very good team. I think your defense really matches up really well. Stephon Diggs. Can't go wrong with that. Two brothers going at it. Probably even playing against each other here too. I'm gonna say that I believe I picked the Cowboys to win this game. I'm gonna stick with it. I think the Cowboys do win the game. Don't get me wrong, the Bills are gonna keep themselves in the game. The offense is gonna be explosive. Josh Allen's got the cannon of an arm. He's gonna really perform well. But at the same time, I think the secondary will probably force a lot of turnovers from Josh Allen, whether it's fumbles with Micah Parsons and Dexter Lawrence, or they can intercept him as well through Trayvon Diggs or Stephon Gilmore. And I think that's going to be a really tough matchup here. I know it's in Buffalo. The weather is going to be very cold around this time of year. It's going to be in early December or mid-December. I get it. But I think you're still, defensively, you're going to give them a lot of tough problems here. So I think it won't be a pretty game, but I think you can come out on top because of your defense. But then in week 16, you play the Dolphins, and I actually do have you guys losing to the Dolphins, I believe, because of that Miami, Florida heat. That's going to be really tough on you guys. So that's why I go with you on that. I think you'll lose to the Dolphins in week 16. You could come up with a good defensive game plan to take out Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle out of the equation for this team. But I think your overall team and speed that you have, I think the Dolphins can really, really dice up on the defense if Tyreek and Jalen get a really good game plan and can go down the field rather quickly. Then week 17, you play the Detroit Lions. This could be an either way kind of game, but I'm gonna go with the Cowboys here on a Saturday, December 30th. So it's the day before New Year's Eve. I still think your defense is going to be a lot for Jared Goff to handle, and I think there's a lot of problems still on the Detroit Lions defense that's going to, really, really be like the biggest factor here as far as how, your offense comes out to play. So, I think this is a good game. I think it's a good matchup. I will be looking forward to seeing it, but I think the Cowboys are still the better team overall, personally, especially on the defensive side of the ball. So that's going to make some things tough. But then in week 18, you play the Commanders. Like I said, I think the Commanders split with you this year. So overall, I have the Cowboys at a 12-5 record. So it's about the same with what they were last year. I think this is the ceiling for them. I think they can win at least 12 games this year. I think they're going to lose at least one of the worst teams in the NFL at least this year. I feel like they're going to be upset in some way. I feel like so. That's usually like an annual Cowboys game if you can upset them in a way. But I think 12-5 is a reasonable record. It could possibly get them an NFC East champion, division title, and it could be just good enough to be able to compete in a very, very weak NFC. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about the Cowboys. It's your boy JP Football Fanatics saying thanks, and we'll see you all next time. Peace.